This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatPalm82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze Tokka and Rahzar from Neca. Now, as you can see, both figures are showcased in a new large-scale window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see multiple panels showcasing the figures in multiple posing positions with their different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's crack these figures open and let them breathe. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with Razar here. Man, I cannot believe how far we've come from that vintage TMNT toy line to getting these awesome figures. It is crazy to see what NECA has done and what they've been capable of with the TMNT license. And straight up, they have been giving us, I will say us, some of the best and freaking most awesome TMNT toys that we've ever got, man. And I absolutely love this Razar. I think he just came out so great. The head sculpt is like perfect. I think it is just so goofy and wild. And he just looks like a big evil Muppet. And I mean, that's what you expect with his character. The paint in the eyes came out really insane. I love that. The wetness, glossiness of the nose looks really good. But the hair sculpt all throughout that looks incredible. I think they have done something very, very special here. I just cannot believe the figures that we're getting from NECA when it comes to TMNT, man. These are the toys like I always wanted since I was a little kid, and they are incredible. But you can kind of even articulate the jaw a little bit here. You can see like the inside of the mouth just looks gnarly and wet. I just think that looks great, man. But even there's like a dry brushing over the fur here to give it an extra tone, which I think is really cool. The shoulder pads, the sculpt of this all look incredible. You got that car grill for his armor plating right here, which I think is rad. But there's also like a rust kind of like color to it that makes it look even better. It gives it that more detail. Same thing with the fur. I love how even the joints are sculpted with that fur in there too, instead of just being smooth joints. I really dig that. But you can see the wash that we get throughout the fur looking really nice too. Into these little wraps. The hands look great. The claws look amazing. I think those are so rad. Every bit of detail of this figure right here is insane, man. Like, you get the texturing on this little loincloth piece right here, and the wash on there looks really nice too. You got this real like almost rubber tire looking pieces right here with the spikes added to them. I think that's so freaking awesome, man. The knee pads look really great. All the way down to the shins. Got that more of that dark wash on there to his big gnarly feet with those claws there. The bottom all looking so good. Every bit of the sculpting here is just crazy nice, man. I am so super impressed, man. NECA's killing it with the TMNT line. And what I do like, even at the back here, this is actual metal chain that we're seeing here that's holding all this stuff on. That's really cool, man. They didn't have to do that. They could have just, gave us some like rubber chains and we probably all would have been cool with it, but they give us real metal chains like that, which I think is so good. Like, oh my God. I just, looking at these guys in the box, I was like freaking out at how awesome they looked. And then opening them up and playing with them. One thing I'm going to say, you will have to heat these up. The arm joints right here, the elbows, and the knee joints were very tight on both figures. So run these guys under some hot water or whatever you do to loosen them up, because that's going to help. You're going to want to do that. Don't break these. These are freaking works of art, man. That's how I see these. They're just beautiful works of art, and I just love him so much. Look at him. He looks so freaking cool. Alright, next up, let's take a look at Tokka here. This was my guy, man. Between the two, I always thought Tokka was so cool. He was definitely, I felt like at the time, the closest thing we'd ever get to a live action Slash. Any of you feel that way? Because I feel like that's pretty much what he was supposed to be, a snapping turtle with spikes and all that stuff. So I felt like he was going to be the closest thing we got to him. So I always thought he was cool for that reason. Sadly, I don't have the vintage Tokka figure anymore, so I missed that figure. It was so cool. It was basically a reuse of Slash. But still, man, this guy, oh my god, I'm freaking out because this is just, again, like I said with Razar here, this is a work of art. Neca has done a beautiful action figure. It feels like I'm holding the actual movie character in my hands right now. That's how amazing this is to me. And I know Secret of the Ooze was kind of a goofy movie compared to the first film. Totally understand. But I didn't care. Back then, I loved it. I soaked it all up. I drank that TMNT Kool-Aid, man. I always thought Tokka and Rahzar were really cool characters. Even though I feel like it should have been Bebop and Rocksteady, I didn't care. Back then, Tokka and Rahzar were still really cool to me. The sculpt of this head is gorgeous. The amount of detail in like the skin all look incredible here. The eyes just look really nice with that gloss over the eyes to make them look a little more wet. You got his little beak right here looking awesome. The detail of the teeth, the spots that you can see all there, the folds in the skin, all with that dark wash, really make this thing stand out as something special here. Now, what's really cool, I'll show you this right now before I go into articulation. His eyebrows can actually move, so you can see that. So he can actually have like different expressions. So you could do that, move that one down, make him a little more angry. That is a very interesting piece of articulation. I don't think there's too many figures out there with brow articulation, so that's really cool. But you can also actually move his beak up and down a bit, which is really nice, and you can actually unhinge the jaw, and then you can see in there how the mouth looks all wet with the teeth. I mean, that looks crazy cool, dude. I am freaking loving this so much. I am so happy to have this. Oh, this makes me so happy, dude. I love the TMNT line. I love the vintage toy line. I love those vintage movies. And then getting these figures is something just I've wanted my whole life. And we got them, and I think they're awesome. They're just beautiful. But it's crazy. The quality of paint is insane. Like you see around the neck right here, into the shoulder, there's so much high-end paint here, with all that wash, the dry brushing, the tamboing, everything about that. The whole front shell, the bottom shell right here is chest shell, looks great. Again, that dark texture in there looks beautiful. Again, the elbow pads, you can see it's almost like tire material, looking really cool too. Try and get a nice zoom in on all that. But again, you can see spots on the shoulder, all the forearms right here, the wrap, the hands look really nice with the claws, all looking great. Man, the texture in the skin looks really good. Like, I feel like I just need to shut up and just like slowly turn this figure around for you guys so you can see all the great sculpt and paint apps that are on these figures, because they are so impressive. And my god, look at this shell. Oh my god, that is crazy impressive. They're kind of pointy, so be very careful because those do kind of stab you a bit. It does kind of hurt. But that is insane, my guy. Look at that. Oh my god, that is so dope. But it's crazy to see because it looks like the shell is a separate piece and they glued each individual spike in there, maybe with the exception of these border ones around, but all the ones in the center, it looks like they were glued in separately. So, I mean, if you wanted to, I guess you could take those out if you really, really wanted to, because you can see they do kind of have some wiggle in there. But man, that looks insane. I freaking love this figure. I am going to just drool over this over and over, and I'm already calling it, you know, these are coming out for most of us in January 2021. I'm already calling it, these are going to be in my top 10 list for 2021. It's going to happen because I'm in love with these toys. They look so good. Tokka is amazing. So let's go into the accessories now. So we do get this metal pipe here, which I think is really cool. And it's not actual metal, but you know what I'm talking about. But the texturing, that looks great. You got a little nice gray dry brushing all throughout that, looking really cool. And this is meant for more for Tokka to hold in his hands, and he's holding it very well. We also do get types of different hands for Tokka, more of like an open palm hand, get like an actual gripping hand, which looks really good. And you can actually take this pipe and then like slide it in there like so, and it'll hold onto it very well. And just a straight peg like we've seen with many figures from NECA here. And this thing is kind of soft bendy, so I don't think it's going to snap on you or anything like that, so I think that's pretty cool. So I love that. And you mostly just get those interchangeable hands. Use a tighter gripping hand for the other side, so a lot of cool things like there. We also, of course, do get some gripping hands for Razar here. Different kinds of snarling hands, this curled up fingers, gripping hands, all kinds of cool stuff. And the paint on all of these is just so nice, man. These really feel like premium figures, honestly. They really, really do. We also do get this giant piece of wood, which looks really cool too. The sculpt on that is incredible. I can see where his claws can fit into the fingers like that. The wood grain on the outside looks so natural. It is crazy how they really made this look and feel like real wood, man. Love this so much. For him here particularly, we got Razar's shield, which looks like a hubcap of like a bus or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, but that looks really cool too. I really dig the colors on this, especially with that like rust color going on here. And for him, how they did this, you have to have like, there's like these J hooks you can see on the inside, so you kind of have to just wrap them around his like forearm like that. Maybe I'm doing this backwards, I don't know. Or is it the other side? I don't remember which arm he carries it on. But you kind of just have to get it on there and rest it on like that. And it will stay. Look, like it's not going to go anywhere. So it does stay. It's just kind of awkward how they got it to, how they made that to hold onto his forearm. You know what I mean? So it still works though. Like I have no problem with it coming off. But still, I just wish that was probably a little bit better a way to put that on there. We also do get a Tgri Ooze canister, which I think is awesome. No TCRI, sorry, Tgri, but pretty cool. I love getting little accessories like this. I think this is awesome with any of the TMNT collection. Nice silver and that really cool green paint right there. It looks really nice, so I love that. We also do get the fire extinguisher, which I think is really funny. When they put the fire extinguisher in the mouth, I think it was Tokka, or both Tokka and Rahzar, right? I can't remember. And the turtles just started shooting these things in the mouth to, what was it, to amplify the effects of the anti-mutagen? I think that's what it was. I can't remember, but that's pretty funny. And by the way, I still very much want, I don't care what anybody says, I want a Vanilla Ice figure from that movie. I need it in my collection, NECA. Please listen to the fans. We want Vanilla Ice. So what's another cool accessory? We get the Simply Donuts box. The donuts, man, that's a really cool accessory. Now, this is just a simple thin cardboard that you have to fold over like that. But inside, we do get some plastic donuts that you actually get in there, which is really cool. You just slide those in there. They are removable. But I love that. And you can see that there actually is one missing in the stack right there. That's because they gave us the open crushed donut that was actually bitten into with the anti-mutagen cube, which I think is super funny. This is the one that Razar like holds in his hand, and like he crushes it and looks in his hand. He's like, what the heck? Like, what is that? That's not supposed to be in there. And then that's when the fight ensues. So really cool accessories. I love the donut thing. I love the anti-mutagen. I love the fire extinguisher. Should have came with 2 fire extinguishers, right? Didn't they have one for both? I think that would have been really cool. But still, you get a lot of great stuff here for both these figures. Okay, so let's run down articulation now. So I showed you can articulate the jaw like that, so that's pretty cool. But the head does seem to feel like on maybe a double ball peg. And you can see underneath here, there is a separate neck collar piece that covers up the actual joint. So I'm pretty sure it's just a double ball peg in there. So you allow that to roll around, does rotate left and right, pivot side to side, and go up and down like so. So lots of good motion there, lots of great fluid motion. I love that. Arms can go all the way up like so. It is kind of tight. These shoulder pads do kind of get in the way, but they move for the most part. You get them down like so and out like that. We get a double jointed elbow. Like I said, you're gonna want to loosen these elbows some heat, but a good motion there. It's a little awkward shape, but it's not bad. But you get a good motion there, as well as rotation at that elbow, a rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at all the wrists. We do get a ball peg in the midsection right there. You can see the cut just along there. So that rolls around like so. It does turn left and right, pivot side to side, and crunch back and forth. Hip joints, they kick forward that far. back about that much, splits all the way out about that far, rotation in that upper thigh a little bit. That's actually, I could probably loosen that up a little bit more with some heat, so that might need that. Same thing, double jointed knees, kick back about that far. These are, again, we're pretty tight too, so again, loosen those up the way you can. And we get ball pegs at the ankle, so those can roll around, rotate up and down a little, and rock side to side decently, so that's pretty cool. These guys aren't super crazy articulated, you know what I mean? But for what you get here, I think it's pretty well done. So now I'm going to bring Tokka in here, like so. Let's check out his articulation. So I showed you the eyebrows, I showed you the beak, and I showed you his mouth that it hinges like that. Same thing here. It looks like there's a double ball peg that's covered by this neck piece. So you can see how it rolls around like so. So that's pretty good. Can turn left and right like that. Up all the way far like that. So that's actually really, really cool. Down that much like that. So you look pretty straightforward. Arms can go full 360 if you want to, I think, all the way around like that. Yep, makes it all the way around. Up and out to the side that far. Double jointed elbows. These are hindered by the bulkiness of these pads, so you can get about that far, as well as rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do get a ball peg in the midsection here. This whole front shell to the back is actually a separate section that covers the actual buck, but you can kind of feel how it moves around in there, and kind of rotate a little bit. You can kind of see that. Pivot side to side, crunch back and forth a tiny bit. That's going to be very hindered compared to Razar, again, because of that shell. Hip joints get kicked forward about that much. Back, not so much. Splits out about that far. Rotation at upper thigh. We got double jointed knees that bend about that far. Again, hindered by the bulkiness of that knee pad. You can rotate at the knee. And then ankles are on ball joints as well. You're mostly going to get pivoting. Up and down is very, very tight, almost non-existent. You can't really rotate left and right, so you're mostly going to get a pretty good ankle rocker, and that ankle rocker actually feels better than Razar. So, your articulation, again, could be better, maybe, but, I mean, these guys weren't super dynamic. You're not going to get them in crazy, ridiculous posing on your shelf, you know what I mean? You're going to mostly get them to be big and intimidating and just look badass on your shelf. And I think that's exactly what these are. Just big, badass toys for your awesome TMT collection. So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and McFarlane Batman figure. Also for comparison, here they are standing next to two movie turtles from NECA. And for even more comparison, here they are standing next to a movie Shredder and Foot Soldier, also from NECA. And just for fun, here they are with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of Tokka and Rahzar. Now overall, I love both of these action figures, and NECA absolutely hit a home run with this 2-pack. These have got to be some of my favorite figures that I've gotten in a very long time. I think they are so incredibly well done. The intricacy of the sculpt is so detailed, so gorgeous, and so realistic. NECA does something special when it comes to turtles, and these two are definite proof of that. The paint is so mind-blowingly good. It's so premium. It's just crazy to think how cheap these figures were at retail when you get so much intricacy. It's really impressive. The articulation could be a little bit better in some areas, but it's honestly pretty good for what it is. But again, heat up all those joints. That's very important, as we all know with any NECA figures. I absolutely love all the accessories that we get, but especially the donuts. I think those are so awesome. I absolutely dig that. And again, NECA, if you're listening, I want a Vanilla Ice figure. Please give us a Vanilla Ice. I think that'd be so rad. But still, these things are surpassing the title of toys. To me, they are gorgeous works of art. I absolutely love these, man. I cannot stress that enough. They are beautiful action figures, and I am so stoked that I added them to my TMNT collection. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.